Welcome back to Ride JBI. This is JB. Today we finished a suspension service and settings update on this 2017 KTM 450 SXF. Over a year ago, we set this customer up with the JBI Spec WP to KYB SSS conversion for the forks. This customer has also been following us on YouTube and noticed that we had recently been doing some testing and updates on our JBI Spec KYB SSS forks. With that in mind, he thought it'd be perfect time to get his suspension serviced and also have it updated to our latest settings. If you've been following us, lately we've been doing a series called the WP versus KYB. It's a very common question we have is which setup is better. Both setups work really well. We don't really favor or bias towards one. The main thing is to test them back to back, get feedback from other people, let them share their experience, and what we get from it is we get to learn. And by doing these back-to-back testing, it almost always improves our setups on both our KYB setups and also our exact 6500 setups, and also our cone valve setups, because those are the three forks we have been testing back to back to back. Anyhow, this customer is following us. He spoke to us on the phone, asked about what updates we've been doing. I shared with him, and he said, hey man, that's perfect timing. I got some time on this suspension. Let's get it serviced, and I'd like to try your new settings. So inside of these forks, we have our latest JBI Spec KYB to SSS motocross setup. Pretty much the main thing from our previous setup was we really focused on improving the initial bump compliance, meaning when the front wheel first strikes a small bump, especially a set of chatter bumps, it's like those small bumps you find going into and coming out of corners. We felt the forks were good there, but they could still be better, because we had noticed our WP setups were working quite a bit better in that area, and a lot of that is tuning, not necessarily the type of fork. So I spent some time cooking up some new shim recipes on how we could do that, and I'm very pleased with the settings that we came up with and tested, and just again, the further progress on our JBI Spec KYB forks. The shock was also serviced as well and also updated to our latest JBI suspension motocross settings. Of course, it has our upgraded JBI bladder kit. The stock shock is actually quite good in terms of hardware, the design, and the componentry we have to work with. So some well-placed valving mods and a bladder kit go a long way in improving the stock shock. This is a 2017 KTM. In 2016 is when KTM updated the chassis and pretty much did a big update on the bike from the previous 2015 generation. It is now 2023, so here at Ride JBI we've had a solid 6-7 years now of testing, tuning, and developing settings for this generation bike, and we're really pleased with all that we've learned over the years and how good and competitive our settings are for this generation bike. Now most of our focus is on the newer generation bike and getting this thing to perform better. Stock, it's quite good, but again, our job is always to see where we can improve on where the manufacturers left off. Information on the JBI Spec KYB fork can be found at ridejbi.com. That'll give you detailed pricing, images, videos, and product information, along with all our JBI suspension services and products as well. All of that you can find at ridejbi.com. We also sell this kit as a do-it-yourself install. So we'll sell you these KYB cartridges already modified to a custom JBI spec for you. We'll have the cartridges already assembled, full of oil. So the main thing you'll need to do is install the new lugs onto your fork tubes, and then slide in your complete assembled cartridges into the outer tubes. For that, just call to place an order. Happy to help you. But if you'd like Ride JBI to do your suspension, please give us a call or send us an email. Let's talk about the year, make, and model bike that you have, what suspension options are available, and which setup would work best for you. All JBI suspension services and parts can be found at ridejbi.com.